Hey, CLA Parents, it's Jeffrey. I just want to shoot you a quick video. And Marta's going to be in touch with you to set up times, but I wanted to give you sort of the why behind why I like to meet with parents. I like to meet with them in the beginning of the year. I like to meet with them at the end of the year. It tracks that year and the progress we made with each kid. And I do want to meet with every parent. So even if parents can't meet together, I'll do it separately on your schedule. I'll meet any time of the day or week. I just want to make sure we get that in the schedule for the beginning of the year and the end. And I just want to tell you why. As a dad, we always felt like we were just stewards of our children. And that really is what we are. They're God's kids, and our job is sometimes just not to mess them up. And so we as parents wanted to find out what God had called them to do. And so we looked at their giftedness even as young kids, 4, 5, 6 years old. We started to see tendencies and habits and likes and dislikes. And sometimes that doesn't play out later on because they can change. But when they get into middle school and high school, they're starting to develop passion for some things. And we want to make sure those passions are good. And this is the bottom line for us. We want to find out what it is God has called them to do down the road, because even if they're well educated and they get an amazing job that pays well, you know this as an adult, if you're not doing the thing that sets you free, the thing that you're passionate about, or ultimately the thing God has called you to, if you're a follower of Christ and you're not doing what God has called you to do, you're going to have dissatisfaction and angst. So we want to eliminate that for them later on in life and help them find out what it is God has called them to be. So I'm not your traditional guy that says everybody goes to college. I do think that's the best option for most of us, but times are changing, finances change. Sometimes it's actually might be a financial decision, or in my case, and what I believe in our kids, it's a calling. So we're going to track your kids from the moment they enter our school to the moment they graduate and then some. One of my main goals here is to work with our older school kids and make sure that they're starting to track with either one of 4 things: college, university, that sort of thing, even a 2-year school, local, whatever. Number 2, they might go to a trade school. So it's not a traditional college, but they might learn a trade so that they can work, and they might go right into a vocation. That's rare, but it does happen, and we'll help navigate that. What best decision. And here's one that obviously traditional schools don't offer. What if your kid has a heart for ministry and feels called to the mission field? So we want to see where the kids are gifted. We want to make sure they're the most equipped as we can possibly make them, from an educational standpoint, from a character standpoint. But then there's a focus thing. We want them to stay focused on the Lord and what He's called them to do, because if He's involved in the process and He's out front and we're following Him, their life is going to be full of beautiful things, abundance. God will use them in ministry. I'm not saying all of a sudden their life is going to be easy. It's not, you know that. But you know how it is when you're called to do what you're doing, and there's just not much greater joy. It's kind of what I'm experiencing right now in my life. When you're doing what you're called to do, there's just joy in other areas that aren't even connected, but it's all stemming from your heart. So when I meet with you, we're going to talk about your kids, what they like, and we're going to track their progress. I'll get information from teachers as much as I can. Beginning of the year is a little harder, but at the end it's a little easier. And we're just going to go in this thing together. I am your backup. I'm not the main guy, so don't ever feel like, hey, you guys infuse the Lord and infuse good stuff into my kids because I don't know how to do it. I'm going to help you through that as a dad, as a partner, as a parent. But you need to know we're the backup to you, but we want to equip you to do things at home and equip you to sort of raise your kids in the way of the Lord. Proverbs 22:6. There's a lot of verses in Proverbs, but that's one that stands out. We really want to raise our children in the way they should go, which in the original language is the way God has called them. And so that's my goal. That's where we're going to meet in the coming months, in the coming years, and I'll have these little one-on-ones with the parents going forward. I love you guys, and I can't wait to get to know you.